This is from INEC?
Yes.
According to you?
It is there before the tribunal. Certified copies of these registers.
Did INEC also brought
INEC produced no documents. INEC called no witness. They were all running away because of voters register, because we were confronting them with it.
No, we can't be saying anyone will run away. Or,
I'm telling you, I say INEC ran away. INEC produced, called no witness. INEC tendered no document in the trial. PDP called one witness. Ogbor called one witness. And that witness was shown to be a pathological liar. Her entire purpose was to come and say that upload as at 16 was the last date. So no further upload.
Very quickly, let me point out something. The front page you gave is that of Burutu, but if you go to other pages,
you have other local governments.
That's what I'm saying. Other local governments showed that people we had accredited numbers.
Look at the figures. Look at the figures against the results.
For instance, look at Warri South.
Yes.
You can
look at the figure now. Look at the figure.
We have figures.
No, we have figures.
Yes.
But those figures are not. Those figures don't match the results entered. That's the overvoting. Where the accreditation figure is less than the vote returned for the polling unit, that's overvoting.
So if this was clear to the courts, why would you think
it was expressly clear? It was over clear. In fact, of all the things we expected, this was not where we expected any challenge.
Now, another thing is this. I mean, you have gone on about how, there was overvoting. It could also be that there was overvoting even for the votes that you recorded. So if there was overvoting, just a moment, if there was overvoting, for the PDP, it meant that there could also have been overvoting for the Labour Party and the APC as well.
Of course, but the law is, in any polling unit where there's overvoting,
yes,
every vote in that polling unit is declared null and void.
So what you're looking for is for the entire exercise to be set aside.
It's cancellation. That's what we pray the court.
The question is, if we set aside these elections,
yes, fresh elections to be conducted.
What are the chances that your candidate will take it?
When a free and fair election is conducted, our candidate is the most credible candidate. Our candidate is the most popular candidate. Is the most accepted candidate. That's why they call him the post general. If you watch any of his campaigns, you know that he's the man on the ground. If there's a free and fair election, but what we have is not a free and fair election. What you just have is allocation of votes. There is no person in that contest that is standing shoulder by shoulder with him. He's head above shoulder any contestant in the election. That is the truth. All we just have
even though the People's Democratic Party and even Delta State considers itself a PDP state.
You see, it is a fraudulent PDP state. Because they have not been conducted. I have cancelled the election before. Every election we have cancelled thousands of votes.
Did you win?
You get it.
Mr. Ogbor, I'll love us not to try and disparage any political party or individual here to say it's a fraudulent PDP state. So let's just go with the
So what we
issues.
have is they don't conduct elections. The only difference between us is just that we are peaceful people. We believe in the rule of law.
I love to go back to your document.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You said this is a number of accredited
accreditation. Then the next one is the figures.
How did you get this?
You have to count the tickings in the voters register.
Is it the tickings?
You have the manual voters register.
Not from the card reader.
That's not card reader. That's the voters register.
So if it is from the tickings, and you just told us that the card reader didn't fail, then we should have been able to get that of the card reader, not the tickings.
Look at card reader accreditation figures.
And they have figures.
Yes, card reader have figures.
And you said for the tickings, and you said the tickings. These are for the tickings.
Yes.
Manually done.
Manually done. The tickings that are manually done are not ticked. Look, when you go to when
I get a picture. So in other words,
the presiding officer is supposed to tick your name that you have been accredited, and when you finally come out to vote, he's supposed to tick your name again that you have voted on the voter register.
So this is supposed to be a record. If this does not cohere with what we have here,
it doesn't match. It means that the election was arbitrary. Since this is not consistent with the card reader figure, it means the election is arbitrary.
But my point
this
here,
does not tally.
My point, a minute, sorry. My point here is that if it does not cohere and you have a document that is a certified true copy from the card reader,
yes,
and you also said, well, the card reader didn't work, then why did they also have that of the tickets?
You see,
then they should have relied just on the card reader that you said was...
They refused to.
That you said was fantastic on the day.
The card reader was fantastic, use the card reader. This is what our petition was based on the card reader accreditation figure, because that's the only document we could get from INEC before the filing of the petition. It was after the filing of the petition that we got the voters register, which is supposed to be consistent accreditation figure with what you have in the card reader. Because now there's a dual accreditation process. You get it? Which must be consistent each with another. But what you have now is that these figures that are the card reader accreditation figures, the figures returned as votes are more than the accreditation figure. That's the overvoting. And so the tribunal ought to and should have, like Rivers State,
did you try to merge this number of accredited voters with the ones that were done manually? Don't forget that it got to a point we had manual accreditation and that of the card reader when in places where they had issues. So did you try to put them together and see that it didn't tally?
It didn't tally.
No, then did you put them together?
Everywhere you put it doesn't tally. Their figures are just hanging in the cloud. Baseless, no foundation. What is recorded in the form EC80, which is the unit results. These figures in card reader of accreditation and the tickings on the voters register must be the same. Because it is the person that passed the card reader that goes to the voters register to have his name ticked. So it is a record of accreditation. They are supposed to be consistent with each other, not in conflict.
You know, I'm looking at, because I believe that the court has ruled, and you've said that you're going to take your case to appeal. You're stating the grounds on, you know, the points that you're going to be stating to the Court of Appeal and hoping to get a nullification. But I'm already moving ahead and saying, assuming you get this nullification, that people are saying that the politics in Delta, as it stands right now, is a little delicate. They believe that the different senatorial districts of Delta have produced their candidates, and this is the first time they're getting a candidate. Well, not the first time, but this is the first time that a candidate from Delta North is taking this election. Shouldn't all the other senatorial districts support and ensure that this candidate makes it a success?
The thing is that our candidate is also from Delta North. My mother is from Delta North. Our candidate is the only candidate that's a Delta with a senatorial district. His father is from the Central. His mother is from Delta North. His wife is from the South. So he's Delta. So anyone that wins, he's representing the three senatorial districts. So when he wins, it's the first time the three senatorial districts will be complete in one man. So he's the best. It's not a question of senatorial district. Who is the better candidate to move the state forward? Who has a better agenda for the state?
But the election
so we have said he's the best candidate, and the populace say he's the best candidate. They want him, but some group of people refuse.
It's for 4 years.
For 4 years, yes.
You could be in court for the next 4. Well,
no, by February ending 2016, this matter is closed in the Supreme Court.
You're still hoping that they will get to the Supreme Court?
We're going to Supreme Court, one way or the other. That's the final bus stop. Even when we win in the Court of Appeal, they will go on appeal to Supreme Court. If we lose in the Court of Appeal, we are going to Supreme Court. Until the last is heard of this matter in February, the end has not.
Why do battles in Delta have to be so long drawn? Why?
Because we don't resort to violence, we resort to peaceful means of lawful process.
Which a lot of people will commend, but then, you know, for the
you allow the law have its course. You allow the law have its course. Don't kill human beings. Don't waste any human blood. Don't burn people's houses. Let the law have its course. You see, look like these judges. They have been so brilliant from the beginning. 10 minutes to the day when they should have made the whole day, they scatter the whole thing, the somersault. How they somersault like that? You go to the upper court to correct the somersault.
Yeah, well, I think
so that is the essence. When in 2007 the same thing happened to us, we went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal nullified the election.
Right. So we're not fair here by saying that of the judges. I think if we have any issue, that's why you're going to the appeal.
That is, we appeal because the judgments are perverse. Or that the judges are, it's a waste of evidence. So it's not unfair to judge. You see me, I've praised the judges. They did very brilliant job, but humans have make mistakes for some deliberate reasons sometimes. So you think sometimes ignorantly, but it's not ignorantly.
So you said there was, did you say there was nil accreditation and about 700 PU?
756 polling units on voters register, 0 accreditation.
But card reader didn't fail.
Only 239 polling units in card reader is 0 accreditation. 239 polling units, 0 accreditation.
So it's still possible that card readers didn't fail, and you still have that.
They didn't fail. They were not properly utilized, or in the places where the elections were cancelled. When the election is cancelled in the polling unit, the accreditation record is also cancelled.
Is this really about the people of Delta State?
It's about the people of Delta State. That's what politics is all about.
If it is about the people of Delta State, why won't we support the government there?
Support the government?
Yes.
The government is paying lip service to calling for support. Do you support fraud? You want to become an accomplice of fraud?
Even though the court hasn't said it's fraud.
Just wait. You will see the court will finally say so. The upper courts are there.
But so far, they haven't said
So far, yes, the first court dodged to say so.
So you're optimistic that when you get to...
Absolutely. We are sure 100%. I told you we were drinking champagne yesterday. We were celebrating.
But you drank this champagne before.
I said
the last time.
We are celebrating.
You drank the same champagne.
Of course, last time you know that the introduction of the Section 285 prevented the courts from hearing the cases. The case was spent. So we pushed the court became angry with us to find our lawyers. We pushed the Supreme Court beyond limits because we were insisting they should hear the case. Because we believe if they had the case, we will win. But the cases were not had. All the cases were spent. But now the cases will be hard because the courts have learned their lessons. Now, as soon as the cases get to Court of Appeal, they check the expedition date, they fix a date of hearing immediately. And so we have learned from our past, and we are confident. Absolutely confident. Because, you see, that's why we commend the tribunal. If we had not put in all this evidence...
So they admitted all the
evidence are there. So the upper court will evaluate facts on the ground. Like now, you are wondering, how can all this evidence be before court, and they still say you lost? You are wondering. That just tells you what will happen in the upper court. You will all wonder and nullify the elections.
All right, Tony Ogbor of the Labour Party, thank you, and all the best.
All the best.
We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.